Okay, hello again. This is part 4 of my drawing of the Staffordshire Terrier. I've actually done quite a bit since I left off from the last video, and I want to go over some of the things that I've done and some of the pencils that I've used. So I said before that I'm using the Granite Rose Pablo pencil for the actual highlights in his face. I'm not going to use it above his nose because I've got to fill that in more with a little bit of black, but I want that to be white. But up here I have filled it in, most of the highlights down on his chin, and where his mouth comes together there's some pink and actually some dark spots too. So what I have done, let's start with this ear up here. I used black, and as you can see, there's a really deep black, deep dark. I need to fill this in with a little bit more black. It's a little bit darker than that. But for the inside ear color, I used dark red, 225. And I went in there where it's the darkest and filled that in. And then I took my Granite Rose pink and put in the lighter colors. So as you can see, that makes that pretty dark, but it also really is vibrant and it really stands out, shows up immensely. For this reddish brown color that's on the side of his face, that could be part of the printing process that makes it look like that, or it could be because he's out in the sun and it just makes it look a little more reddish brown. I went ahead and used the same dark red and went over that very carefully. But what I'm going to do on top of that red, I'm actually going to use my Cold Gray 2, which is number 231, and I'm going to glaze, which again, glazing, you hold the pencil on its side. And if you can tell, that is actually making that color go into a little bit more of a very pretty gray. It's kind of maybe a taupe gray, I don't know. It takes out some of the red, but yet leaving that different color to distinguish where the sun is shining on his face. So I'll go over all of that. And this needs to be much darker in here, so I'm going to go over that area with the black a lot more too. I'm going to do this ear, of course, just like I did that ear. I'm going to put in my dark black, and then I'm going to use my dark red. And on the picture, wherever it is the darkest in there, is where I'm going to apply that. It goes out quite a ways. Don't be afraid to use the color. And then in between there, I will use my Granite Rose again. Actually, I think to put more of a pop of color in there, I'm going to go with my Pink Madder Lake 129. you want to use the colors that are as realistic as possible. But I always say don't be afraid to use color, because I'm just going to kind of go over that dark red to see what that does. Kind of push that color down into the paper there with this pink color on top of it. Then I'm actually going to use some of my dark sepia 175. There's some hairs that are coming across there. It's either hairs or veins, I'm not sure, probably hairs. I'm going to push those hairs up into that. And then that is going to be a very, very, very light pink. I'll put some of my granite rose in there very lightly. And then what I'll probably do is take my white pencil and I'm going to go over that to make it as light a pink as I possibly can, because it's really light in there. Okay, and on this ear, there is a little bit of white hairs that kind of outline the ear a little bit, and I'll put those in with my white pencil so that I'll know not to totally make all of this ear black. It's the same way on this ear. He had, he's got some white right on the edge there. But on this ear though too, you want to make sure you bring that black and follow it with the line of black clear down there. That makes it look like the ear is turned. It's just like when you have a leaf, you're drawing a leaf off of a tree, and if that leaf is turned, it's usually a different color on either the top or the bottom. So you want to make sure you bring that black completely down there to the tip. Make it look more realistic. Then I'll come back in with my black on this ear, and I'll go ahead and fill that in. Now I'm not going to take up all your time while you watch me draw that. I'm just going to fill that black in. It won't be just glazing. It will be more of you hold your pencil slanted like this and just make small little back and forth marks. Back and forth, and fill that ear in. And now that we've got, you can kind of see where the outline of the ear is, we're really beginning to see the picture of the dog, and I think he's looking really good. I do think we're going to have to go back in and completely darken up a few spots, but that's okay. I want to get my values as close as I can to the dog, but I don't want to start off with something so dark that something's totally out of whack, and now I've got to figure out what to do. It's better, sometimes less is more, and start out easy with your colored pencils. Just go ahead and sketch it in, so to speak, and then as you get more and more of it done, you can look at it and evaluate it and see what needs to be darker. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'll let you catch up with me on all of that, but I did put a little bit of pink down here where his wrinkles in his skin are. I put that in, and then I took my black and I drew where his fur comes in on those, just very lightly. And then I will do that on the same thing. I'll do the same thing on the opposite side over here. I've got some faint pencil marks, but you can judge that pretty good. If you like to draw, you can judge where those pencil marks go in. And then looking at the photograph, it's really hard because there's a shadow there. But his body, the rest of his body comes in about right there. So I'm just going to make a very light pencil mark there. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to start in on using my black very, very lightly, glazing again. And after that, I am going to start using my pink Granite Rose. And if you see on the picture here how these fur, this hair goes a certain way, I'm going to sharpen my pencil, and I'm going to make sure that all of those pink fur marks are going to go in the direction that they need to go. When I get down here to these darker areas, I'm going to use either dark sepia, or I will use a, I might use a lighter gray. Yeah, that's a warm gray, and I don't want that because that's, I want to use more of a cold gray, because cold grays are more bluish black. So anyway, I'll find my cold gray in my immense amount of pencils I have over there, and I will go ahead and I will start to pencil those in, and then bring the pink down over them. If you've got something in the background, you need to put that in first, and then bring your fur marks down over that. So go ahead and catch up with me on the ear and the markings on his side. And I'm also going to start working on the pink pencil marks in the middle here. And his legs that we do, they'll be really fairly easy because they're pretty solid color. So those will be a lot easier. So I'll resume after we get this done, and catch up with me. Thanks for watching.